For almost 30 years, Voller Law Firm has been winning serious injury and death cases for clients. They have collected millions of dollars on behalf of their clients and belong to the prestigious $1 Million Advocates Forum. When insurance or a wrongdoer won't pay for what they took from you, go with an award-winning firm with a track record of results. At Voller Law Firm, results matter. Make sure you go with lawyers that have the experience, ability, and financial power to hold those that hurt you accountable. Put your trust in Voller Law Firm. Give them a call at 662-323-0083. Homewell Care Services provides in-home care to those in need in and around central Mississippi. If your loved ones live in Madison, Hinds, or Rankin counties, Homewell would love to partner alongside your family to provide assistance to those who wish to remain living at home in their golden years. Our staff has many years' worth of experience in the elderly and home health industry, and we have a full-time registered nurse on staff to oversee all of our clients. Whether you need someone to check in periodically or 24-hour care, Homewell Care Services has a plan for you. Call us at 601-790-7097, or you can find us online at homewellcares.com.
You're listening to Thunder and Lightning on SuperTalk Mississippi, covering Mississippi State sports like nobody else. With Sports Talk Mississippi's Brian Hadad and Robbie Faulk of On3 Sports. Now get ready for Thunder and Lightning.
It's Thunder and Lightning here on Super Talk Mississippi. Brian Hadad and Robbie Faulk here with you on a Thursday morning. A little off here with the rumblings, but that's fine. We'll get to it. Thanks for joining us here at supertalk.fm or wherever it is that you get podcasts from. We appreciate you guys out there, our great listeners, especially our servicemen and women out there taking care of us. We want to thank our sponsors over at Strange Brew Coffee House and Churn and Spoon Ice Cream. Start your day the right way with a trip to the drive-thru over at Strange Brew Coffee House here in Starkville or at Brupolo over in Tupelo. Be a little weird, Robbie, if Brupolo was in Elizabeth.
That would be a little weird. Not Elizabeth Town, but just Elizabeth. There's Elizabeth.
It just says Elizabeth. Elizabeth is a census-designated place, an unincorporated community located in Washington County, Mississippi, about a mile north of Leland.
It's also a song by the Counting Crows, isn't it?
Elizabeth?
I think so, isn't it?
Oh, now we're going to have to look. Hold on.
Good Night, Elizabeth, yeah.
Okay, what's it called?
Good Night, Elizabeth.
All right, because it says
very good song.
If you look for Elizabeth song, the first song is by the Statler Brothers.
Yeah, I don't know if I know that one, but Good Night, Elizabeth is a really good song.
I don't know that song by the Counting Crows. I'll have to check that out. All right, wherever you're in a great state, you can enjoy Strange Brew Coffee each and every morning. It's just a click away at strangebrewcoffeehouse.com. The Mississippi Beef Council wants to remind you that beef, it is what's for dinner. If you're cooking out this weekend, nothing beats the sizzle of beef on the grill. Whether you're at Duty Noble Field or just at home watching college baseball, make beef the leadoff hitter in your starting lineup for the cookout this weekend. And, of course, during the week, if you're looking for great, easy meals, we've got recipes for them at msbeef.org. Beef, it's what's for dinner, thanks to our friends at the Mississippi Beef Council. College Corner, collegecornerstore.com is the place to find the maroon and white merchandise that you're looking for. Everything maroon and white under one roof. All the logos, all the name brands that you're looking for. And not just clothes, stuff for the car, the house, the tailgate. It's all right there for you at College Corner. 2 locations in the Jackson area. They're originally by Fleet Feet or Flow by the Half Shell, or you can shop online, collegecornerstore.com. Priority One Bank, 16 locations here to serve you throughout central Mississippi. Let PriorityOneBank.com be your guide and show you not only how they're going to help you invest and manage your money, but how they're going to help you prepare for the future. Now more than ever, when you have questions about your money, you need answers. You need to talk to a banker that knows you by name, not just by your account number. Talk to the good folks at Priority One Bank. Let Priority One Bank make you their priority. As we mentioned, we're a little behind this week, so we're going to have to, look, this is our situation here. This Arkansas spring football preview, it's just going to have to wait because all of the Arkansas people I know are covering the NCAA tournament. So there's just nothing I can do about it. So we'll give them a week. We'll see what happens. We'll figure that out. We'll come back to spring football next week. We'll do 2 pods. We'll do 2 segments a week to catch up. That'll be fine. We will have an interview tomorrow with Aria Gerson from the Nashville Tennessean, who covers Vanderbilt baseball. We'll preview this weekend series. But today we are into the Rumblings, and we are a day behind, but we'll get into them now. Of course, the Rumblings are brought to you by our friends over at Paul Davis Restoration. When disaster strikes, you need a name you can trust. Paul Davis Restoration is here to help you recover from water, fire, mold, and storm damage 24/7. Their expert team provides fast, professional service to restore your home or business to its original condition. They don't stop at restoration. They offer property improvement services to make your space better than ever. Paul Davis Restoration, because your recovery and property improvement are their priorities. Call them at 662-769-7285. Let them bring your property back to life. In Starkville, in the Golden Triangle, or in the Tupelo area, you can call Paul Davis Restoration. All right, let's just jump right in here, Robbie. We got some good questions today. Colton Watson back with our first questions of the day. You have the opportunity to add one former state player to this year's MSU baseball team to guarantee a national title. If you accept the challenge and you make a deal where state wins the championship, you receive $1 million a year for the rest of your life. But if they do not win, you never watch sports again and you develop severe diabetes. Diabetes. Oh. First, do you take the deal? Second, who are you picking to sow? No, I'm not taking that deal.
No, why would I take that deal?
Why would I take that deal? I only get one player. I can't guarantee it. Like the guy I probably would pick would be Landon Sims. But no, severe diabetes and I can never watch sports again? Why am I alive?
Well, here's the thing. Like, you could be the best team in the country with Landon Sims. Like, well, I think we could assume Mississippi State would push for that.
Yeah.
But we can't predict that they would go win a national title. A lot of things have to fall in place for that.
Right.
So just simply adding him doesn't automatically vault you to the national championship. We've seen some really good Mississippi State teams not get to that point.
Correct.
So, no, I'm not accepting this deal.
Very good. Rank these state pitchers: Kyle Stephen, Houston Harding, Jarrett Liebelt, Riley Self, Jacob Billingsley. Stephen's easily number one.
Yeah,
was
first team All SEC.
Yeah. Would have been SEC Pitcher of the Year in a normal year. But what was that guy from Arkansas? Do you remember his name?
Cobb. Was it Cobb?
It was 2024, right? 2024 SEC Pitcher of the Year. Hagen Smith.
No. Oh, I was thinking the 2021.
Kevin Cobb.
Yeah,
that was 2021.
Hagen Smith was really good.
Unbelievable. Stephen was right there with him.
Cal Stephen was not far behind. Actually, right. I thought outpitched him in that Friday night game they played.
They did. So he's number one.
Yeah, he's number one. I'm going to say Houston Harding number two.
Was a really good third starter for that.
You don't get to the national championship probably without Houston Harding. He saved him in a couple of games.
So I would say, I'll tell you this: freshman Riley Self was outstanding. I might put him.
If you get a healthy Riley Self for 3 or 4 years, he's number two on this list and pushing number one.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna put him.
He was really good that freshman year. He pitched in like 30 games.
Yeah. Billingsley's fourth, just on the strength of what he did in the Hattiesburg Regional.
And Vanderbilt in the Super Regional.
That's right. He was a good postseason pitcher. Jared Liebelt had a fantastic final year in Starkville. He was really, really good in 2019. But he'll be fifth. But being fifth on this list is no shame. I mean, this is a good list of former Bulldog pitchers.
All these guys at their height were really good.
Really good, yeah. The other day, I stopped at a Marathon truck stop just north of Picayune. The bathroom had 12-foot ceilings, half-inch thick granite walls, and marble countertops. What's the most amount of money you've ever wasted at once? I mean, I've been to some gentlemen's clubs. Maybe that's probably the answer. So, that's probably it. Don't shake your head like that. Sometimes you go.
By
the way, a nice restroom at a truck stop is not a waste of money. That gets people.
Yeah, but does it really need that?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I stop at places I know have clean restrooms.
Well, I think you can have a clean restroom and not have vaulted ceilings and
make it a little fancy.
Granite countertops.
It's a little nice. It's nice. Make it a nice.
Yeah. I don't know what mine would be. The most amount of money I've wasted at once.
Yeah. You ever buy something and you were like, why did I buy that? No? That stands out?
And I don't know about wasting, but I spent a lot of money, when I was building this house.
Yeah.
Like, I would write checks where I'm like, oh, my God, I've never written a check.
Yeah.
For amount of money this high in my life.
Yeah, I got you.
It was very depressing.
I got you. All right. Ryan Reynolds, the actor. The top 5 months for watching sports on TV. I think October, November are the 1 and 2.
Well, you got to think about March Madness.
Well, I think March is third.
October in November are 1 and 2 together. You're not counting.
No. Let's say November 1, October 2. November, you get the end of the college football regular season. The NFL is starting to heat up. You get the tail end in November of the World Series. College basketball starts in November. So you have all that. October, again, you have all the football. The NBA playoffs, or the NBA gets started in October. Baseball postseason is in October. I think those are the two best months for sports. I think
I would put
March
March over October.
You put March over October. Okay.
Yeah, but November's up there.
So
November,
you get March Madness. You get college
yes.
baseball's at its best. MLB starts around November. You could also say like April. Get some of that too, because you get the end of the tournaments in April. The NBA, the playoffs are about to start. For us, WrestleMania is in April, so you get that. The Masters, is in April too. That's another big one. So what's fifth? January. January, you get the bowl games and the NFL playoffs.
That might be higher than
October.
I don't know.
November
that might be higher than October.
The last 4
like
weeks
the
of the
regular season of college football, I think, is going to fall below the postseason
of the NFL
of the NFL and college football postseason.
For me, the best 4 weeks of the year are the last 4 weeks of the regular season. Everybody's playing conference games. You get all the rivalry games. That's my favorite month is November.
Okay.
So I think January is probably fifth. January can be ahead of April. I'm not as big a Masters guy.
I mean, January is you got the NFL playoffs. You have college basketball conference games.
You have the college football playoff wrap it up.
College football playoffs. So that's got to be up there.
Let's put that too. Put that ahead of March.
Oh, I love March Madness.
All right, so okay, November.
You and I are a little different, though. Yeah. Like you enjoy college football a lot more than I do.
I love college basketball, but I don't get as into it when state's not good.
Yeah.
So
I will watch March Madness all day.
Yeah. I'll watch.
No matter what. Yeah.
So November, March, January, October, April.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
Sure.
That's your list. Who's up next here? Steve Mormon asks us, what's one tradition you always do on St. Patrick's Day? Mine is I always watch The Quiet Man. I gotta look up what The Quiet Man is. Do you know?
I do not.
It's a John Wayne movie. Is he Irish in this movie? Yes, he goes back to Ireland in this movie. I don't have a St. Patrick's Day tradition other than I try to wear green, but I didn't wear it yesterday. So
yesterday I wore green and had no intentions of wearing green.
It just happened to wear green.
I literally just like opened up my drawer and I went to the next shirt in line and it was a green shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And I put it on, and Becky was like, "Oh wow, you got your green on for St. Patrick's." I was like, I completely forgot." I remember saying something about the river in Chicago was green, but that's the only thing I remember of St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
In the last couple of days. So
I don't have one. I'm not
I don't
Irish.
drink beer on St. Patrick's Day. I don't pinch people. I mean,
neither of us are Irish.
I have some Irish blood.
Well, I have some, but like I don't associate myself as Irish.
I'm more Scottish.
Yes,
but I do have a good bit of Irish blood, but I have a lot of Scottish blood. If you've ever looked at my beard, it's red.
Got a little red in there, yeah. It's got some reddish hue.
It's a lot red, especially when it gets real thick.
You're a ginger.
It's the strangest thing because my hair is brown. Walker. I'm a day walker.
Yeah. Also,
I get a tan.
Yeah. Steve asks, has there ever been a better St. Patrick's Day news story than the Mobile Leprechaun? One of the funniest stories of all time.
So great.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Brogan Fairchild asks, what was your favorite movie to watch with the commentary on? Mine was probably First Blood, but Karate Kid was a close second. Brogan, I don't know how to break this to you. You're a little bit of a psychopath. I don't watch movies with the commentary on.
No, I don't either.
No, I just watch the movies.
One time, me and my buddies got bored, and we did every single thing we could possibly do on Hoosiers.
Yeah.
So we listened to it like in a different language. We listened to the commentary.
Uh-huh.
And just bored, I guess. But That might be one of the only movies I've watched with the
I
commentary.
don't watch movies with a commentary on. What is your favorite Spotify playlist that you didn't create? Our buddy Ryan Nelson created a '90s country Spotify playlist. It's
Oh,
outstanding. Outstanding.
I haven't really gotten into other people's playlists that much. I listen to my own.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't really.
I saw one the other day. There was a bunch of songs on it. It was not that I am one, but a divorced dad's playlist. It was
I
all
was like Creed and
yeah, like 3 Days Grace and Crossfade and all. I was like, this is
that'd
great.
be right down my alley. I would love that.
I was like, me and Robbie would
I have
put
no
this on
intentions of getting divorced either, but I love
Yeah.
all that music.
So that was a good one. Davis Holiday has received permission from Dalton Lee for this question. Is Dalton Lee like Kevin Bacon? I got 6 degrees of Dalton Lee out here.
He's connected to every single one of these people.
All right. I would like to add to the talking to Dalton Lee's mother on the phone conversation. His mother called me telling me she couldn't get Dalton on the phone and was panicked about where he was. I knew what he was with his now wife, but couldn't tell his mother that. I got to tell you guys that me, a white male from Mississippi, trying to explain to a panicked immigrant from Hong Kong that I have no idea where her son was an absolute nightmare. It went exactly how you are imagining it. Have you ever had an awkward or tough conversation with a friend's mother? First
That's
off,
a good question, actually.
I want to make the jokes so badly, but I'm not gonna. But I want to make them.
And you're not going to reenact this at all either.
Conversation at all. I'm just going to tell you that one time. So one of my roommates, it was a guy named Mike Poche. He's our Thunder and Lightning official consigliere. He lurks in the shadows. We don't need him very often.
Is he from Louisiana?
He is. He is from Louisiana. He's originally from the Bronx. He's a big Yankees fan. You'd like him. But his dad was named Ed Poche. We called him the Axe. He was not to be trifled.
I can absolutely see that.
All right. So one day I called Mike's house. This is like 1995 or something, right? So no, we're not talking about cell phones or anything. I called his house. I guess they had caller ID. So a few hours later, he didn't answer. A few hours later, my phone rings. Hello? Hey, it's Ed Poche. Like, yes, sir, Mr. Poche. How are you? I'm doing all right. He just lets it hang there. Like, yeah? It's like, I saw you called earlier. Like, I'm doing the best Cajun Bronx accent I can here, by the way. I was like, yes, sir, I did. Yeah, what you want? Like, I just wanted to talk to Mike. This is Brian Hadad, his friend from state. Oh, God, Brian, I thought you were someone else. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Mike, I'm so sorry. And I was
ready to set up a fight.
I was like, what is going on? So
he was ready to confront you.
I literally thought he was like to set up a hit.
Yeah. So what was it? What was the meaning for you calling my house?
Exactly. It's like the Axe, man, not to be trifled with. I'm telling you.
Axe, Ed Poche.
Ed Poche, good stuff. Thomas Fry. Let's say that MSU plays 2 games in 2 different sports at one place in the state of Mississippi. It also happened to be where it would be considered weird if Brupolo was there. If the science takes effect, would it be considered weird science?
Science?
You're reaching here. I don't know. I don't know. Weird science.
I think all science is weird.
I agree with that. Yeah. Let me think about it.
Doesn't mean I don't respect it, but it's weird.
Yeah. Brad Baxter asks us, is there a guy in our bullpen who could potentially emerge as an inning eater, similar to how Liebelt, Gordon, and Preston Johnson were in 2019 and 2021? First off, shout out to Jarrett Liebelt. Didn't think he was going to get 2 mentions today on Thunder and Lightning, but he has. Jack Gleason is the first name that pops into my head for this role.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
No, I think Ben Davis could be an innings eater. He hasn't been pitching as well as he'd like to.
Yeah.
but I think that's actually a bigger role for him than a closer. Like I just don't see closers much with him, but I see him being a guy. He's a ground ball guy. He can get up there velocity wise, but I don't think that he's a guy that's just like a one inning dude. Like I think that he could go through the lineup a time or two and get you some innings. He pitched 2 innings the other day, and I thought he got better in the second inning that he was in there. So, and he's done it before. He's pitched 3+ innings before. I think he could be a guy that does that.
Right.
But Gleason, yes, would also be another one that I could see doing that for sure.
Yeah. Dalton Lee, you're not going to believe this. He has a story.
Yes.
I stopped by a new liquor store that recently opened up, and as I was about to check out, the female cashier asked for my ID and stated, "Thank goodness we are the same age. You're only a month older than me. I'm 32." For context, I thought she was easily 50 plus years old. I unintentionally let out an audibly loud, "Oh no," to which she didn't seem to take too kindly to. Safe to say, I'll probably never set foot in there again. Have you ever let out a Freudian slip that put you in a very awkward spot before? If so, how did you try to save face? I gotta think now. See, sometimes I ask these questions. It's like I can't just come up with the stuff. I gotta dig into the memory bank there. I'm sure I have something like this. You got anything coming to mind?
Yeah, I mean, I've called people by the wrong name, or I've
Oh
said
yeah,
something. I've made a comment or something before to people that was like a sensitive subject to them, or like unaware that what I'm saying might correlate to something that has been
hmm
damaging in their life,
hmm
and I've wanted to literally jump off a building after that happened.
I asked somebody what their daughter's name was, and it was a boy because
Oh,
it was a baby and it just had
oh, I've
long
done
hair.
that.
And I was
Yep, I've done that.
like, what do you want me to do? It's a boy. Give him a haircut. Kids shouldn't be walking around with long hair.
Yeah, I've called babies boys before, and they're actually
Yeah,
girls.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's no good.
but like somebody did that with Lady one day. It's like she was wearing a blue like
Yeah,
onesie. She has no hair.
yeah,
Like she kind of looks like she doesn't kind of. She looks a lot like me.
yeah,
I mean, what are we gonna do?
yeah. You shouldn't get offended, but some people
Yeah,
do. This is one of those things where I'll think about it, and like tomorrow, we'll come back to the podcast and be like, by the way, I
I know
thought
I've got some,
I've got something like this. Yeah.
but this is
Let's
what
see.
people don't understand. Like, how do you forget this and this? Like, we're reading questions on the fly,
I'm
and
50.
in a matter of seconds, we have to come up with something that's
I got
happened over
I got to
37
remember.
and 50 years of our lives.
I got to remember back to 1997 all of a sudden. So
Yeah.
I do remember. Uh, Friend of the program, Riley Nelson. So whoever reports to Riley what we say on this show, here's one for you. Uh,
Because
we were
Riley
at
doesn't listen to our
He doesn't
show.
listen, but he has people who report to him. So uh we were at a bar in Athens, Georgia, and he was not 21 yet. And we were up there talking, and then the owner of the bar came and sat down with us. And he's like, "You guys are from Mississippi State?" You're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, let's have some." And so we're drinking, we're having a great time. And we're talking about the casino. He didn't know there was a casino near Starkville. And we're talking about, "Oh yeah, we go every now and then." And Riley, who's 20, I think at this moment, says, "I can't wait till I'm 24 and we can go back for my birthday." He caught himself.
Jeez.
It's like, look at him like, calm down, buddy. That's a good one.
Shut up.
Yeah. TJ Carter. Where can I get a dry fit or performance walking bully and or interlocking MSU hat? I prefer them to the 47 trucker style hats. I'm not in Mississippi and I haven't seen anything the last few times I've been back. I'll look on the College Corner website and see if I can't find you a link, and I'll send it to you there, Coach.
I don't know if I've seen a dry fit walking bully.
Dry fit walking bully, no, but interlocking, surely they
I've
have.
seen a ton of interlocking hats.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's a dry fit walking bully somewhere, but I just have not seen it. They've mostly been on like a comfort color,
Yeah.
or we've seen them on the mossy oak
Yeah.
camo shirts, stuff like that.
Yeah. Uh, Also from TJ Carter, why does this coaching staff think Noah Sullivan has speed? Apparently, he's deceptively fast. The guy has not been caught stealing all year.
Well, another thing to consider is like some of these stolen bases are their own ideas, the
Mm-hmm.
players, that is. So like some
Yeah,
of them is that's them going to steal, but I mean he's 6 for 6, so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
hard to
Like,
be upset at him right
you
now.
can't
But
argue with it. Yeah.
whatever he's doing is working.
Uh, GC Dindy. I do hope this is my former friend from Mississippi State, Gordon Dindy. Don't know if it is or not. It's common to see a pitcher shake off a sign from the catcher, but I've never seen that. Notice the pitcher shake off a sign coming in on the pitch com. Can they? How do they do it? Shake their head at their wrist? You can. A pitcher could shake off the pitch com, couldn't they? The
Yeah.
problem is it's coming from a coach who's kind of like, no, this is what you're throwing kind of situation.
No, I mean they still make their own calls
Do
on a
they?
lot of situations. So I think that the pitch com a lot of time is just kind of like a suggestion for some guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you don't feel comfortable with your pitch right there, I mean, I'm sure the pitcher has the ability to shake it off. I saw Ryan McPherson shaking it off the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I have no idea what pitches he was shaking off, but yeah, he was. There was still communication between he and I guess it was Maluski that day or
Mm-hmm.
Raymond. I can't remember which one.
Okay. I thought it was a little bit more locked in, like, hey, I'm the coach, this is the pitch kind of thing. Okay. That's good. Good information.
I think it is very much a like a three-way street. Like I think they're all kind of talking it over. I don't think the pitcher is totally um, locked in with the coach calls this pitch and you better throw this pitch. If he doesn't feel comfortable with it, he has the ability, I'm sure, to shake it off.
Okay. Liano's dog is what it says. Is Jackson Loger hurt, not selected in the roster? Feels like his experience could help us answer some bullpen questions. I think we talked about that. I know you reported it on three that basically he's just not part of the plan this year. Simple as
Yeah.
that.
Well, that's what you and I are both hearing.
Yeah.
Um, Here's the thing with him. Like he did some good things, and he may be the secret weapon for Mississippi State behind the scenes. But like, I feel like State fans are enamored with the mystery
Yeah.
of someone.
Every year it's somebody like this. Yeah.
Like this guy has now like this. The word has gotten around. Like, hey, where's Jackson Loger? It kind of started off like, hey, we've seen everybody else, like, but we hadn't seen this guy. I wonder what he looks like. Now it's turned into why are we holding back the potential greatest pitcher in college baseball history from pitching for Mississippi State? I'm not saying Lianos dog is saying this, but like that's the vibe I'm
It
getting.
is
Is
the
like
vibe sometimes. Like this, like
this
Jackson
guy could be
Loger,
the secret to our season, and we're holding him back.
he is the difference between not making the postseason and winning the national title. That is how big the gap is.
Exactly. I don't think it's injury related.
Right.
So and here's the thing, like, I'm not trust the coaches guy, but these guys have seen Jackson Loger in action in the fall preseason. They see him every day throwing bullpens or whatever. If they felt like he was going to help this team, don't you think he would be on the field? Like he would be playing. It's not like he's being held in chains in Gene's dungeon or anything like that. Like he's just not.
Not down there with Paxton Stover.
He's not down there with Paxton Stover. So um, I don't know. Maybe he would help. I don't know. They obviously either they don't believe that he will or he's done something that's preventing him from getting on the field. So um, the fact that he hasn't pitched at all means there's probably something wrong there with him, and I don't think that there's an injury situation. So, or maybe he's just can he redshirt? I haven't even looked at it.
Surely, I don't know if he's got a redshirt year or not, but just don't expect to see him this year. We'll just leave it at that.
He's a junior, so yeah. Maybe it's he's
Maybe
got the ability to redshirt this year, and he has 2 years after that. So maybe they're just a project, and they're wanting to redshirt him. I don't know.
Also from Liano's dog, why not play Stallman in the outfield with Teal and Chance to get both Wires and Fry in the lineup day in, day out? I mean, I think the easy answer is this: is Stallman's be your best defensive first baseman. It's not really close.
He does
He'd be
things
great
that,
at defensively.
yeah, he does things that not everybody else. And also, like, why would you put two guys there that haven't played the position very often at a position that's really important at first base?
Yeah.
Um, I'm not worried about the offense. I think whoever they put in there is going to be pretty good. You need
Yeah.
to shore up your defensive issues because that's what's cost you essentially 4 games at this point is your defense and your pitching. Your offense hasn't been the problem. Maybe you could argue, I guess, that it was in game 1 against Arkansas, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It was a problem in game 3, but they could have won if they played clean baseball.
Yeah.
So I want Stallman at first base. I want him at first base most games.
Agreed.
And then Wires, and you're going to have Wires or Fry in there every day, one of the two. And in a lot of games, they're probably going to both play like in a platoon.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just not concerned about it. I don't think they have to be in the lineup every single day.
Agreed. Let's do the mascot challenge, and then we'll go to the break here. But from our buddy Matt McCann, March Madness edition, Robbie, you got to name the mascot for these 15 and 16 seeds in the 2026 bracket. I got to be honest with you, I'm going to have to look some of these up myself. Cal Baptist.
Aren't they like a knight or something?
You're on the right path. Yeah, it's a different name for a knight. Yeah.
Lancer.
That's right. All right. Idaho.
Vandals.
That's right. That's correct. Lehigh.
Lehigh. Bird.
It is Bird.
Yeah. Hawks.
They're the Mountain Hawks.
That counts.
That count. We'll count it. It's close enough. Long Island. I knew that one.
Oh, they are the Sharks.
That's right.
I feel like State played them a few years ago in basketball. Well, this year, didn't they?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, Siena.
Siena. That one stumped me.
It's the same first letter. So the Siena S something. The mascot itself is a dog, but that's not the name of the mascot.
I don't know.
They're the Saints.
The Saints?
Yes. And the mascot's a
But
Saint
they're a
Bernard.
dog.
It's a Saint Bernard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There you go.
I love a Saint Bernard.
Oh, great dogs. All right, let's move into the rest of the show. It's brought to you by our friends over at Two Brothers Smoked Meats in the heart of the Cotton District, the place to find smoked Southern soul food. Back at Duty Noble this weekend, which means back at the concession stand for a delicious order of Two Brothers Smoked Wings. I certainly encourage you to do that. We got 2 night games on Friday, Saturday, so maybe get a little dinner beforehand if you want to go that route, or if you just want to wait till you get in the stadium to enjoy the smoked wing deliciousness that is Two Brothers Smoked Wings. Two Brothers Smoked Wings and the older brother in the Cotton District. Great products, great service. Every business likes to promise them to you. They deliver them to you at Advantage Business Systems. They've been doing it for over 50 years.
50.
When you need technology for your business, give Advantage Business Systems a call. If you need service, guess what? Same people, same phone number. You know them, they know you. You have that relationship. Best of all, because you're in Mississippi just like them, they can solve your problems a lot of times the exact same day. 601-362-9192 or visit them online, absms.com. Find out how Advantage Business Systems will help your business do business. Maroon & Co. is the place to go to grab the maroon and white merchandise that you are looking for. Everything Mississippi State, everything maroon and white, right there at Maroon & Co. If you are looking for some great Mississippi State gear that you cannot find anywhere else, nobody has a bigger or better selection than our friends at Maroon & Co. Use our promo code to save 15% off regular price. In-store or online at maroonandco.com. That's Thunder15 to save 15% off regular price. Everything Mississippi State at Maroon & Co. If you're going to be in Starkville this weekend, before you head to Duty Noble, head to Maroon & Co. Scruggs Farm Lawn and Garden. Look, I know it's cold these past few days, but this weekend, sun's back out. Got to get back out there on the lawn. If you are a yardsman, you got the big yard, you need the big power of John Deere green to get it looking the way you want. Everything John Deere green under the sun. Nobody in North Mississippi with a bigger or better selection of John Deere mowers, tractors, gators. It's all right there for you at Scruggs Farm Lawn and Garden. Whatever you're doing around the house this weekend, Scruggs Farm Lawn and Garden has a product that will make your life easier. Scruggs Farm Lawn and Garden in Saltillo, they have what you want for less. If you're a landowner in the state of Mississippi, I'm sure you already know the name Good Hope Land and Timber. Good Hope Land and Timber, experts in their field, make them experts in your field. If you're a landowner, you know that your timber is one of your biggest assets, and knowing how to manage it makes all the difference. That's where Good Hope Land and Timber will come in. They help landowners get the most value for their property through timber buying, forest management, thinning, harvesting, all done safely and responsibly. And of course, this is a Mississippi State company through and through. You're dealing with bulldogs when you deal with Good Hope Land and Timber. If you're wondering what your timber might be worth, or if you're planning your next harvest, call Good Hope Land and Timber today at 601-442-9888, or you look them up online, g-hope.com. Locally trusted, landowner approved, Good Hope Land and Timber. All right, back into it here. Zachary Avent. Why do State fans bash Ryder Woodson but praise Ace Reese? Ace hasn't been much better, in my opinion. He gets paid more, so more accountability expected. Am I off base? Asking as a fan of both. Didn't think we were getting to the point where people were going to be criticizing Ace Reese this early in the season, Robbie. I got to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, to say that he hasn't been much better is
he's hitting 100 points higher than him, though.
Not really accurate.
Not accurate at all.
Ace is an All-American.
Yeah.
He has, 9 more hits. He has 4 more home runs. He has 18 more RBI. His slugging percentage is almost 300 points higher. His on-base percentage is over 100 points higher. And I like Ryder Woodson. And I don't think people should heavily criticize Ryder just yet. I've been on his biggest fan club list, but they're not in the same realm right now. Ryder has not accomplished anything that Ace has at this point. Ace was the newcomer of the year in the SEC. He was first team All-SEC. He was an All-American. He almost won the Triple Crown. He wasn't that far off of winning a Triple Crown. If you go back and look at his season last year, and again, he's batting .370 at this point with a 1.181 OPS. He's the only guy that's started every single game for Mississippi State. I don't think that you should heavily criticize either one of them, but right now they're not in the same category as far as production.
Yeah, I don't understand where the idea of, I want to read it one more time. He hasn't been much better comes from. He has been much better.
I mean, Ace has been one of the best hitters in college baseball right now. I mean, he's struck out a good bit, but I mean, he is the reason that you won the game against Arkansas and
Tulane.
And I mean, 6 home runs and 31 RBI. I mean, he's outside of batting average, he is essentially Mississippi State's best hitter in every category. He has more hits than anybody else. He has more doubles. He has more home runs. He has more RBI. He is the leader in slugging. He's third in walks. His OBP is up there. Actually, his OBP isn't one of the best, but he still has a 453. So
yeah, it's not terrible.
Yeah. So yeah,
I mean, Woodson's OBP is 341.
It's gonna take him massively falling off for people to criticize him at this point. I mean, he's got enough equity in the bank.
Yeah. Where are we here?
We are currently at the point of our mentions where Keyshawn Murphy has opted out at Auburn.
I haven't gotten there yet. I'm still in the what color was Borky's shirt part of my mentions. Mark Burleson asked, I noticed the other on the day that Florida lost to High Point in baseball. Their basketball team won at Kentucky. That got me wondering, does the Science occasionally visit other schools? Certainly the Science is not limited to just Mississippi State. There are other schools where, but it's not. The problem is it's not as much of a trend at those other schools. Florida finds ways to win baseball and basketball games every year.
Yeah.
It's Mississippi State where we have these problems.
Yeah. I have not studied these other schools. Uh, I would assume that there is some science involved in some of their sports, but at Mississippi State, it is a certainty.
Yes. Uh, Zachary Avent, who says first time rumbler here. Zachary, you already asked the question
But he asked the question and then came back a few minutes later
and
and
said
asked
first time
another one and
rumbler.
told us this is his first rumbling.
Yeah.
Actually, this was like an hour later, I think.
I don't know what's going on with Zachary, old Zachary, but we'll ask this question. Do y'all feel this year's team compares eerily similar to the 2021 championship year in team? What are y'all's thoughts and opinions on the similarities and differences between the two teams? I feel like it's a little early to tell. That team got off to a good start. They went to LSU first week of conference play and took 2 out of 3 from them. The next week was when they got swept by Arkansas.
But that
So
team
what's
also lost some non-conference games that should have
2021?
been lost. 2021, yeah. 2021 lost to Tulane. They lost
They
to
did lose
Kent
one to Tulane.
State.
Yeah,
Lost
that's
to
right. Yeah.
Kent State. They lost to TCU. Um,
Well, TCU was in the top 10. That wasn't that bad.
no, I'm just saying they lost some non-conference games.
Yeah.
They lost more non-conference games than this team
They were a
really
little
did.
behind the pace of what this team is right now.
But they also had a knack like early on for like they weren't playing well, but they constantly like found ways to get back in the ball game and go win.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's been the case for this team in a few games as well.
Yeah. So yeah,
You know
it's
that
it's just too early to tell though.
yeah, the pitching staff that year was really good and really deep.
Mm-hmm.
This one still has some question marks. Now I think the pitching staff this year compares a lot to 2024,
Okay.
which if you get the 2024 uh, pitching staff this year, you're going to be in solid shape because I think this offense is significantly better than that offense was. So I don't know. I don't know if I see a ton of similarities just yet. I guess in the form of there was some good leadership on that team. I think there's
Mm-hmm.
some really good leadership on this team too.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see that for sure.
All right. Mine asks, it was St. Patrick's Day, and I realized there's not really any good food put out for St. Patrick's Day. Of all the non-big holidays, aka the ones you can't get off work for, which one has the best food? Stuff like National Hot Dog or Donut Day don't count. First off, if you're Irish, I mean, I'm not a big corned beef and cabbage guy, but if you like that, that's what St. Patrick's Day is. Plus a lot of beer, which I do like.
I think that is the big takeaway is like the drink food of choice
Mm-hmm.
on this day is beer.
Right. The
So
answer to this question, in terms of a holiday you don't get the day off of work for, but it has the best food, is really easy. It's Cinco de Mayo.
oh yeah,
Give
get
me,
some
go
Mexican.
you eat Mexican food that day. That's the easy answer.
Yeah,
So do you eat
that's up there.
Italian on Columbus Day?
No, I don't.
I'm gonna say it's anti-Italian discrimination.
Maybe we should. Maybe that should be
I
our
mean, I
new.
don't have a problem making lasagna or something on a
On
on a
Columbus Day, we go to an Italian we go to authentic Italian restaurant. So we'll go to Tupelo and go to Olive Garden. Um,
Oh!
unlimited salad and breadsticks.
I'm just saying. In this house, Christopher Columbus is a hero. End of story. All right. Yeah, Cinco de Mayo.
It's up
Easy
there.
choice there. Jaeger Bass, hold on now. If Thunder and Lightning is in need of a chief legal correspondent, I'd like to throw my hat in the ring. In light of the recent attempt of the Mississippi legislature to pass a tax exemption for NIL deals to help our universities recruit versus helping the everyday person in our state, I cannot help but think how out of control and far removed from the original purpose NIL deals have become. Do you think we'll have a course correction regarding NIL, or will it continue to be the wild, wild west? I'm going to tell you this. I had a conversation with somebody the other day about NIL, and they pointed this out. There's like, 4 or 5 years ago, we were all amazed that Texas paid like $7 million for their roster.
Yeah.
And now, 4 years after guardrails and laws and everything that's been passed to try to safeguard NIL, LSU paid $40 million for their roster. So you tell me. I don't think it's going anywhere.
I don't think it's going anywhere. I think eventually they'll get a little bit of a hold on this to the point where you will have rules, you will have a little bit of a ceiling on it. a cap,
Uh-huh.
so to speak. And I think eventually they will be employees. So you have contracts and you have the biggest thing holding that up is these universities and presidents and the NCAA, they don't want to have to get together a health insurance plan, retirement plan, 401ks, liability insurance. They don't want to have to deal with that for hundreds of athletes on their campus. So that's been what they've all been putting that off. That's the answer to our problems is you have players that are employees of your school, and whenever they try to leave, they have a contract that is binding that another school is going to have to take care of, and that's going to discourage a lot of the transfer portal stuff. NIL deals will be kind of baked in, and it'll be a little more manageable, things like that. But we've kind of we've pushed all the toothpaste out of the tube at this point,
I agree.
and there's no getting it back in.
Agreed.
NIL is not going anywhere. It's only going to grow, but I think that you will finally start to see some rules and a little bit of a rein on this stuff to
Mhm.
keep it from being what it is right now, which is total chaos. There is no governing body that can do anything. The NCAA is helpless at this point. So eventually you'll have the SEC will have their own rules, the Big Ten. Maybe they come together and they create their own governing body. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is you need to have like a group of people that can just handle these 16 teams.
Mhm.
And you keep everything in house and you have your own rules and you can focus in on these 16 teams. And if Mississippi State gets out of line, then they get handled by the SEC. If Ole Miss is tampering, then they have penalties against them. That's probably the best way to do it. And hopefully, eventually, we can get the legislature and all these politicians out of the way. I don't understand why they are involved in this.
Mhm.
Why does Ted Cruz and these people have any say so on college athletics? Why does Donald Trump? Do you think Donald Trump can name who the Heisman Trophy winner was this past year? I doubt it.
I won that. That was my trophy. They gave it to me after.
And I'm not being political. I'm not picking a side. I'm just saying, like, if we can objectively look at this, why are these people making the
Yeah. I don't
decisions?
want the government doing anything.
I
So,
don't want them to be involved at all. I,
in
I, I mean,
anything.
I don't want them. I don't want them to be involved in college sports.
No.
I want them to just do things that we need them to do.
Yes. All right. Fort Polk. I hope you're ready for this one because I'm not. Rank these jam bands: Goose, Big Something, Government Mule, The Works. I have literally never heard a note that any of these bands have played.
I've heard of Goose,
Okay.
and
Good for
I
you.
do know Government Mule. I think that is Warren Haynes, right?
I literally have no idea. I don't even know who that is.
Warren Haynes is a guitar
Okay.
player, very very accomplished blues.
I'm sure he
Yeah,
is.
he's
I don't.
he's with Government Mule.
Okay.
I have listened to some Government Mule, and I like Warren Haynes. I don't know anything about these other bands.
Okay.
I've heard a lot about Goose of late, but yeah, I'm a Dave Matthews guy,
Yeah.
so I would
Yeah.
have Dave Matthews on this list. I know it's become popular to crap on Dave Matthews, but I
Mhm.
love Dave Matthews Band.
There's a
Um,
question you and I are a little bit more familiar with for this second
okay,
question.
thank you.
Who would you rather have seen Stone Cold feud with in their respective peaks? Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, CM Punk, Hulk Hogan. Austin Goldberg needed to have happened at least once. It's criminal that it didn't happen one time.
Lesnar and Stone Cold was supposed to happen, and that's when he
That's
quit.
when he walked away. Yeah.
Um,
Prime Punk and
Le-
Prime Austin would have been great
Prime Punk
promos.
and Prime Austin is probably the answer. That
Yeah.
would have been great.
I don't want to say Hogan because when they've been like, all right, Steve, you're going over. That doesn't work for me, brother. I don't want to.
Yeah,
That's what would have happened. So,
he would have taken his ball and gone home with
yeah.
Hulk Hogan too.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Brock and Steve, but I don't know. Like if you're presenting Brock Lesnar as this monster, he's probably going to beat down Steve Austin, which I think was the whole crux there is they wanted him to go over, and Stone Cold did not want to do that. And so when that happens, like you're diminishing what you've built with Stone Cold as this like untouchable anti-hero, you know, screw the establishment kind of guy, and
Right.
he looks weak going up
Yeah.
against Brock Lesnar. CM Punk probably would have been a better fit there. And Goldberg's kind of the same way. I mean, Goldberg was that monster, like unbeatable.
You just wanted them to, because they looked alike. Like it was just like it just would have been fun to see. So, and they were the guys who kind of represented that peak moment there, where Austin was on top of WWE when they were on top, and Goldberg was the guy at WCW. So that's probably my answer. But all four of those would have been fun things to have. All right, the last three questions today come to us from Damon Ladner. Which song has the best opening guitar lick? I Believe in You by Don Williams, Main Street by Bob Seger, Running Down a Dream, Tom Petty, or other? Well, I mean, if you're asking us between these three songs, that's one thing. Or other could be anything.
Like, are we allowed to pick?
Am I allowed to
be
like some of the Led Zeppelin or something in here? I mean, what are we doing?
A Whole Lot of Love is up there.
Yeah. Unchained.
Unchained is great.
Yeah.
Eddie Van Halen leading that in.
So, yeah, that's where we're going there.
I'm trying to think. Highway to Hell, AC/DC, just like that.
That's a good one.
That power run by Angus
Thunderstruck
Young.
would be my AC/DC choice.
Thunderstruck's probably it.
Yeah.
Out of these, I Believe in You. I can't remember that song.
See if I can just pull it up real quick.
You're gonna have to do it on the computer because I don't think I'll be able to hear it through your phone.
I don't think I can do it through the computer either. Let me see.
Hey, just let me listen to it.
Oh, you do it. You figure it out there.
Right now I'm leaning towards Main Street's good.
Yeah, I love Main Street. Is it a bar or is it a Seeger bar?
So, we have an ad, of course. Hold on.
You go to Spotify for that. They just play the song.
Please. Hold, please.
I'm holding. It's a long ad.
Organic food and foreign cars.
I don't like that song.
All right.
It's probably going to be Main Street for me out of those three.
What's one artist you forbid to play in your car?
Ooh, he says Kane Brown.
Yeah, he has Kane Brown. Who's Kane Brown?
He's technically a country music artist, I think. Okay. He's that guy that like he got famous by posting videos of him singing online. And became a country music artist. I mean, I can't really be upset at him.
There's not a band that I just despise. So, like, I would say, like, turn that off.
Yeah, I mean,
the Ole Miss marching band. I don't know.
David Kellum.
Yeah. Not listening to him.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I don't have anybody that I just forbid. Like we are absolutely not listening to this. Sometimes when I'm just like annoyed with my daughter's requests, like her music, I'm just like, no, sweetie, we're gonna listen to my playlist right now. Okay, I'm driving.
There you go. What's one artist you will always play and have the volume turned up? His is the Rolling Stones. Mine's Van Halen.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So have we talked about this? Like, are you're a Sammy Hagar guy, right?
No, I love Lee Roth. Are you listening, Rob? I just did it again.
I figured you were like you were a 5150 guy.
I mean, I like Van Halen with David Lee Roth. I like Van Halen with Sammy Hagar. My favorite songs are probably more the David Lee Roth songs.
Okay. Unchained.
I like Unchained. Panama is one of my favorite songs.
Dance the Night Away.
Dance the Night Away is a great song.
Drop Dead Legs.
Drop Dead Legs. One of my favorite songs is a newer one that when they did the best of in like the late 90s and they released that like had one side was like all the David Lee Roth songs, then all the Hagar songs, and they had 2 originals on there, and one of them was called "Me Wise Magic." That's a fantastic rock and roll song. I love that song. But
Humans
also
Being,
Humans
the
Being,
Humans Being version from Twister with the
yeah,
orchestra,
love it. I love
great.
that. But with Hagar, I love "Top of the World." I love "Runaround." I love
Pound Cake.
Pound. Oh, I love Pound Cake. Right. I mean, right now is classic. Yeah. They're just not. There's just not a lot of bad songs with when the Van Halen boys are involved.
Dreams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dreams a good song?
Yeah. Yeah. Love that video with the Blue Angels. That's a great
I'm pretty
video.
sure that song was on the Power Rangers movie. I think that was the first time I ever heard it.
Might have been. I don't know. That's one I don't know. What's your band though? What's your always got it turned up band?
Um, it's more kind of songs, and they just kind of come and go. Like
Yeah.
it just depends on what mood I'm in. Sometimes it might be like a worship song. Like I
Yeah.
just feel like I'm driving down the road, and I just feel like a spirit in me, whether it's seeing like the the clouds, the sunset, or whatever. And I'm just like, you know what? And I just pop that on.
Yeah.
I crank it up to 20.
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes it'll be, Ozzy Osbourne. Like, No More Tears is always a 20. When No
Yeah.
More Tears comes on, that's 20 on my truck, which is quite loud.
Yeah.
In my truck. So that's up there. By the way, Brian O'Connor is an Ozzy Osbourne fan. I don't know if you knew
Is he?
that.
I did
Yes.
not know that. I would not
I
have
think
guessed that either.
Well, he saw Steve's shirt the other day and he was like, Ozzy, I love Ozzy. And I was like, okay, I did not expect that. Brian O'Connor looks kind of like the buttoned up type.
Yeah.
And then we asked Aiden Teal if he knew anything about Ozzy Osbourne, and he said one of my go-to songs before games is No More Tears.
Well, there you
I was
go.
like, God, I love this team, man. I mean, especially the Virginia guys. The Virginia
Yeah.
guys came in here and brought some culture.
I'm still trying to figure out Aiden Teal being from Oh, no, it's Drew Wires. Drew Wires from New Jersey. His walkout song should have been a cowboy. I'm
Should have
like,
been a cowboy, yeah.
you sure about that? All right,
I
last
love
one.
that guy. He the other day he started talking about like
Being a fat
he
kid.
got to start being a fat kid in first base.
Yeah. So I sympathize. Last one from Damon. Why do MSU fans resign themselves to what has always been and work instead of working for what could be? It's almost like we predestine ourselves to mediocrity. Mississippi State fans do, by and large, have a mentality of we haven't been good in the past, so we just can't ever be good. They don't think they can improve.
It's kind of like there's a defeatist attitude
There
that
is.
has haunted this place for a long time.
Yeah.
Like it's always been more like fear of what's to come as opposed to like what could be, and that's something that I wish would go away. And maybe it started from the administration in the past that has
I
kind
agree.
of
I think
instilled it. Like we
you're
can't do
heavily
this.
correct there, my friend.
Stop asking about it. Stop talking about it. It's never going to happen.
We're taking
So-
away this logo, and we're going to tell you that Nike bought it. So quit asking about it, y'all.
We have to do things a little different here.
Yes.
It's just like
defeatist attitude.
And this administration that we have, and maybe it goes back to the point that you made whenever they were hiring an AD of getting someone in here that's not from here, that doesn't know anything about this place, could be a benefit. And I think it has. I think you have a guy in Zach Selman, and you bring in Joey Bailey and Terry Prentice, and like these people have been at other places. They're not from here. And so they don't know the Mississippi State way. They don't know that things are supposed to be, you're supposed to be accepting of being at the bottom of the conference. Yeah. They don't know that. Their goal is to elevate Mississippi State, and they've shown in a lot of ways that it's possible here. So I don't know. I think that's a big part of why State got behind too in the NIL thing, is because everyone was saying, I don't like this. We can't. I mean, you had people that cover Mississippi State that was coming out and saying, we can't survive in this era.
Right.
We're gonna be relegated to the Sun Belt, things like that. Like when you have people that have been around covering this for many years, and that's what they're saying. Yeah, that's not going to help.
One program in the state, when NIL came about, immediately started pouring money into it, and they didn't ask any questions. They just gave their money. The other program in the state asked a bunch of questions and didn't want to give money until later down the road. One program has won 10 games for the past 5 years. The other one has not. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you want to know about the results, I got them for you. So, there's a story of I think I've mentioned this before. It's a soccer story where the owner is asking the coach. He's like, "Who do you want to sign at this position?" I won't go into the whole details, but then the coach is like, "I want to get this guy," and he wasn't a big name, but the coach knew he would be a great player. And the owner's like, "Who? Who is this guy? We can get anybody. Who do you want to get?" And the coach says, "Hey, pay and don't speak." A lot of times with being a fan in the NIL era, it's a little bit of pay and don't speak. Just put your money in the pot, and we'll figure it out from there. So that's our last question of the day. Tomorrow's show, we'll talk in depth about Mississippi State Vanderbilt. Big series for the Bulldogs. They look to bounce back from a rough opening weekend. Aria Gerson of the Nashville Tennessean will join us to give us the Commodore perspective. That's an interesting team that has not played well to this point in the season, but they did take 2 out of 3 from LSU last week, who also isn't playing well at this point in the season.
And then lost on Tuesday night.
They did to the Fighting Lamonises of Indiana. So we'll talk to Aria about that.
Yeah, it was Indiana. Who did Citadel beat? Or Citadel almost beat?
They almost beat Georgia. Yeah. Texas lost too.
I'm ready for Georgia to go on the road. They've been playing at home.
They've been all at home. So, all right. We'll do that tomorrow. Talk to you guys then. For Robbie Faulk, I'm Brian Hadad. Thanks for listening to Thunder and Lightning here on Super Talk, Mississippi.